I whispered it like it didn't matter, like it was just a pause button, not the end of something fragile. I'm not ready for love. That's all I said. But he didn't hear hesitation. He heard goodbye. And in a way, that's exactly what it was. If you've ever pushed someone away, not because you didn't care, but because you cared too much and were terrified of being seen, then maybe you'll understand. We were never official. Not really. But he had become my favorite part of the day. The ping of his name on my phone felt like sunlight sneaking through a cracked window. He was steady after years of storms. A quiet kind of peace I didn't know how to handle. His name was Eli. I met him at a friend's engagement party. He teased a caterer about the shrimp being overdone. I laughed harder than I should have. It wasn't a cinematic love-at-first-sight moment, but it stayed. So, did he? Eli wasn't the type to demand attention. No loud entrances, no hollow promises. He just kept showing up. He remembered I hated crowded bars. He never forgot how much sugar I liked in my coffee. He listened like the things I said mattered. And that's what scared me. I was used to people who came crashing in with fireworks and left with nothing but ashes. Eli wasn't like that. He was consistent, gentle, safe. And that safety felt dangerous because it meant I had no excuses, nowhere to hide. The night it all fell apart wasn't dramatic. No fight, no raised voices. Just the two of us on my couch, an old movie humming in the background. He reached for my hand, threaded his fingers through mine, and said quietly, "I really like being with you." It should have melted me. Instead, panic crawled up my throat. I smiled like I was protecting both of us and whispered, "I'm not ready for love." He didn't argue. He just paused, nodded once, and said, "Thanks for being honest." That was the last complete sentence he ever gave me. No long explanations. No midnight texts. No one last attempt to change my mind. He just disappeared with a kind of grace that hurt more than anger ever could. For a while, I convinced myself he'd circle back, that he just needed space, that eventually my phone would light up with his name, and we'd laugh about how complicated I made things. But weeks passed. His silence stayed. And then one day, I noticed it unfollowed me, not blocked, not bitter, just gone, making room for someone braver than me. That's when I started remembering the little things. How he'd always put his phone face down when we were together. How he'd notice when I was drifting and ask softly, "Where did you just go?" Not accusing, not demanding, just present. And it hit me. I had spent so long surviving the wrong kind of love that I didn't recognize the right kind when it was standing in front of me. I told myself I was protecting him from a broken version of me. But the truth? I was protecting myself from the possibility of being loved the way I never thought I deserved. So I left first. I dated after him. Men who looked perfect on paper. Men who said the right lines at the right times. But no one felt like Eli. No one held space for my silences. No one remembered the way I liked my eggs. No one said my name like it was worth saying slow. One night, I opened our old messages. They were all still there. The dumb memes, the late night text me when you get home, the quiet reminders of "you've got this." My fingers typed out what my heart had been holding. I didn't mean it. I was scared. "I miss you." I stared at the screen. Then I erased it. Not because it wasn't true, but because I knew. Either he had moved on or he was choosing silence. And either way, I had no right to ask him to stay where I told him not to. Here's the hardest truth I've learned. Not everyone fights to keep you. Sometimes the deepest respect they can show you is believing you when you say you're not ready. So if someone offers you something steady, something kind, something real, don't run. Don't hide behind "I'm not ready" when what you really mean is "I'm scared." Say the terrifying thing. Say the honest thing. Say, "I want this," even if it shakes your voice. Because when I told Eli I wasn't ready, he believed me. He walked away. He never looked back. And now, all that's left is a quiet he gave me. The quiet I chose, while I sit here wondering what might have been if I'd been brave enough to stay.